Hello, I'm FCall, and I'm an aspiring video game developer. This video is about money, the future, and why I'm bothering to make these weird statement videos right at the start. And that's kind of easy to answer. I'm a programmer. Part of my job is thinking about all of the weird and wonderful ways someone or something could use my code, and then plan for them. The unlikely ones we usually call edge cases, and these are usually fairly hard to pull off, but weird things might happen if they do. Things that are likely to happen, or which we've planned for, are usually called the happy path. The happy, likely path for this channel, and for my games, is that I crank them out in complete obscurity. I get to a point where I feel like I've given things the old college try, and I do it until I get bored or tired. The edge case for me is that somehow people end up liking them and want me to make more. Maybe people would even be willing to pay for them. If that ever happens, vanishingly unlikely though it might be, I'm making these introductory videos to keep myself honest. I want to set out at the very beginning what I will do and what I won't do. So I guess if I keep this up, and you're watching this from some point in the future, have a poke around these early videos and see if I'm still keeping to my word, and call me out if I'm not. With that in mind, here are a few of those wills and won'ts I was talking about. The games that I make and document on this channel that I'm learning from will be free, even if the opportunity arises to make some money off them. The most I'll ever ask for is people's attention. I suspect that earning some money early on, especially in a very noisy landscape, might actually do more harm than good, because if people are here for that one game and not to see what you do next, you run the risk of being a one-hit wonder. So I'm shooting for people hanging around to be part of that. While I'd happily do both, I'd much rather create a community than make millions, you know? I do have ideas for bigger, more complicated games which would take a lot longer to do and might cost money to make. I'm lucky enough to be gainfully employed, and when I see the stories and posts of people quitting their jobs to gamble everything on a game development career, regardless of the game's quality, that's kind of if I'm going to sell a game, it's going to be because I think it's worth money and I know of people who would actually want to buy it. If I think I'm in that situation, I'll start a dialogue about that at the time and work out what's acceptable and what isn't. I don't think I'll need money beyond paying my bills, and that's what my job is for. But I have considered something like Patreon, mostly to be able to make more content in the event that people are actually watching it, like paying an editor or having something made that would take a very long time if I were to make it myself, but that someone else could make very quickly. If it ever feels like that's ever appropriate, I'll try and make it good value for money. No adverts. This is more about making the games, since I can't control what YouTube does. I'm probably going to stick to PC to start with, but if I make mobile games, I'm not putting adverts in them. I really dislike freemium and microtransactions as an extension, and I think that, honestly, they're a blight on the gaming industry. Soz. And I guess as a catch-all, I'll be open and honest about important things that I miss in early videos like this, and I'll make a video about them as soon as they cross my mind or they're brought to my attention, just so that my position is documented and I can be challenged on it if needed. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing these starter videos, and those are a few lines in the sand that I think are really important to draw, whether or not they ever become an issue. Let me know if there's anything you think I should add.